Hi, my name is Fracaswell Hyman, and I am going to read my book that I wrote, Mango Delight. This is the first book in the series. There's another one coming out in March, Summer in the City, a Mango Delight story. But I'm not going to read this one because it's not out yet, and I don't want to mess up my sales. You know, it's really important, especially for us writers of color, to get book sales so that they keep publishing our books. So for all the fans out there who haven't read Mango Delight yet or have read it before, I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to perform it for you, actually. When I write, I play all the characters, I play all the parts in my head. And I'm reading this because a lot of us are stuck at home now through this social distancing. So this could give you something to do during the day. Mango Delight is a middle grade chapter book, and I'm going to read a chapter at a time. I think for this first chapter, I'm going to read half the chapter because it sets up the story, so it's a little bit long. So I'm going to read the first half of the first chapter, and then I'll come back and read chapter 2, and so on until we get to the end of the book, which has about 29 chapters, I think. I can't remember. So if you can imagine that I am playing a 12-year-old girl, because that's who Mango is, and I created her, and I'm actually all the characters in the book, but if you can use your imagination, and we will start with chapter 1, which is called Name Shame. It was an average school day. I arrived at my girl Brooklyn Minnelli's house, rang the bell, and spent the usual 5 minutes waiting for her to finish chasing perfection and come outside so we could walk to school together. Brooke and I became friends by accident when we sat next to each other in homeroom on our first day of 7th grade. My family had just moved into the True Heart Middle School district over the summer to be closer to my father's job. When the teacher took attendance and called out Brooklyn's name, I whispered that my mom was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and we just hit it off, especially when we discovered Brooke's father owned the restaurant where Dada was chef. So, our being friends was destiny. When Brooke finally met me at the front door, she asked, "Hey, Mango, how's my hair?" I gave the same answer I gave every morning. Perfect. Are you sure? Positive. Then we set off on our 5-block walk to school, rehashing last night's phone conversation, which boy is the cutest, which teacher is the most boring or the most fun, a 5-minute would you rather session. Would you rather eat a pizza topped with live worms or shave your head? Finally, we got around to our greatest passion, the queen bee, aka Beyonce. Brooke and I lived for the beehive. Did you see what Beyonce wore in her new video, in concert, on the street, at a photo shoot in a magazine, on a red carpet, matching with her adorable kids? We were obsessed with Beyonce. I mean, who isn't? Brooke had long blonde hair, and she was always trying to get it to look exactly like Beyonce's. Come to think of it, that's probably why she kept me waiting every morning. My hair was nothing like Beyonce's. It was just brown, and I wore it in a big afro puff. Easy peasy. Even though I didn't look like Bey, Brooke said I sang just like her, which was just totally cray-cray. I mean, yeah, I was always singing along to her songs, even the old Destiny's Child hits, and I knew every lyric and could copy her runs exactly. My parents gave me a Beyonce concert DVD last Christmas, and I practically wore it out. I played it over and over, learning all her moves, and I even pretended to be Beyonce in the bathroom mirror, singing my favorite song, Halo, while using my hairbrush as a microphone. The bathtub, shower curtain, toothbrushes, and shampoo bottles would fade away, and I'd be center stage in a stadium filled with fans all around me, holding up their lighted phones and swaying as I sang the most beautiful ballad ever. Lol. Anywho, as we arrived at school, we heard tweet, 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 and I cringed. Brooke and I looked behind us, and here they came, the Cell Bells, a super clique of girls who thought they were better than everybody else because they had cell phones. They constantly posted duck-faced photos of themselves online and then immediately text each other about it to get as many likes as possible, as fast as possible. They all had the same ringtone for text messages. Tweet, tweety, tweet. I mean, come on, how obnoxious is that? Brooke rolled her eyes when she heard it and whispered, F for originality. The leader / queen diva of the Cell Bells, Haley Joanne Pinkney, glided up to us, flashed a fake smile, and said, Good morning, girls. I said, Hi, Haley Jo. The fake smile evaporated faster than a drop of cold water on a hot griddle. I could feel my face morphing into a grimace emoji as she glared, sucking the life out of me like a Harry Potter Dementor. My name is Haley Joanne, not Haley Joe, Betty Joe, Bobby Joe, or Billy Joe. Got it? Tango, mange, grow, fango. I cleared my nettle-filled throat. Sorry. Brooke stepped up and put her hand on my shoulder and said, Her name is Mango, by the way. Oh, yeah, Mango Delight. Haley Joanne revived her fake smile. Like the dessert, right? Sounds delicious. Did your parents make you themselves or just order you off a menu? The Cell Bells giggled and started texting each other furiously, even though they were standing right next to each other. As their thumbs went into overdrive, I felt myself melting into a thin puddle of humiliation. Why did my parents do this to me? What were they thinking when they came up with this fruity name destined to torture their only daughter? Mango Delight Fuller. I mean, imagine how many ways kids could make fun of a name like mine. Hey, can't go all night. What's up, Mango DeFright? Mango from my sight. Hey, it's Strango uptight. The pain goes on and on. Parents should think twice before they come up with names. We aren't babies forever. One day we're 12 years old and there's lots of mean kids, bullies, and wannabe comedians who live to make fun of kids with names that stick out. If parents considered that, they'd be smart and give their babies normal, everyday names like Chloe, Kalia, or Brooklyn. Tweet, tweety, tweet! Filled the air. The Cell Bells looked at their phones and covered their mouths, pretending to hide their laughter. One of them must have written something nasty about me because Haley Joanne turned to her and crowed. Oh, no, you didn't. I just can't even. OMGZ, you are the queen of mean. With that, she turned and strutted into the school, waving her hands in the air like she was testifying in court. Her clique followed after her in a row like ducklings, copying her every move. Ugh. Brooklyn flipped her hair and said, Forget about hateful Joe and her iPhonies. Mango Delight is a beautiful name, and they were just being mean because they think having a cell phone makes them better than everybody who doesn't have one, like you and me. It was true. Not having a phone did make you feel like a glitch in the eyes of the terabytes. Brooke and I shared the same miserable fate. Both our parents refused to let us have phones until we turned 13. My parents were worried about the bullying that happens on social media. 60 Minutes did a story about it one Sunday, and Mom kept nodding along with the reporter saying, See, this is why what we're trying to protect you from. Guess what, Mom? I thought. You don't have to be on social media to get bullied. You can just stand in front of your school and get bullied for being polite. Both Brooke and I had birthdays in the fall, so 13 was months away. The months felt like years because when you're in school, every day felt like a week and every week felt like a whole month. So here we were, both outcasts in a social media-obsessed world, sinking into the quicksand of digital irrelevance. Brooklyn flipped her hair and kept trying to find the bright side. Actually, Mango, we're better off. My mother said kids who get cell phones too soon stunt their emotional growth. They replace their feelings with emojis. That's how come they're so mean and treat girls like you so bad. Girls like me? I felt myself starting to melt again. I mean, nice girls like you, like us. You know, we're not flashy like Hateful Joe with her bedazzled zebra-striped phone case, always bragging about having her very own personal stylist, the best phone, the best clothes, and the best human hair weave. I mean, please. All that stuff and she still has a jaw like a pelican. I couldn't help myself. I laughed so hard I snorted. When it came to throwing shade, Brooklyn was an eclipse. Seriously, I'll pay them back for you at track practice. I'm gonna leave Hateful Joe choking on my dust. She will be dominated and humiliated. Real talk, watch me. Brooke and I shared another obsession, girls on track, or GOT, GOT, as we called it. We met 4 times a week after school for an hour and a half of track training, running games, stretching, and sometimes just hanging out and having girl talk with Coach Kimball. At the beginning of the school year, when Brooke signed up for Girls on Track for extracurriculars, I put my name on the list too, so we could hang out more. We both grew to love GOT so much that we quickly moved up the ladder from newly friends to friendly friends to besties, which is short for BFFs, but still means you're best friends forever. The bell rang. Brooklyn patted me on the shoulder, flipped her hair, and we headed into the building. I didn't feel much better, but at least I was able to scrape myself up from the sidewalk. I wasn't a puddle anymore. And as I imagined Brooke sailing across the finish line, far ahead of Hateful Joe, and a little smile began to tease the corner of my lips. The idea of my bestie grabbing the win to vindicate me? OMGZ! Just the thought of it gave me life. That is the end of the first half of chapter 1. Stay tuned and come back for the second half later. Bye.